Tonight, only real progress can be made with new constitution, Prime Minister tells UN General Assembly. 2 more die on our roads, and rugby fever catches on as Fiji set to play Samoa. Good evening, you're watching Fiji Today. The Prime Minister, Commodore Bainimarama, has told the United Nations that Fiji can only make real progress once a new constitution that equally protects the interests of all ethnic groups in Fiji is in place. Commodore Bainimarama made the comment while addressing the general debate of the 66th session of the United Nations General Assembly this morning. He assured the President of the United Nations General Assembly, Nasir Abdulaziz Al Nasir, and the UN member countries that such a fair constitution will be in place by 2013. The Prime Minister added that Fijians will go to elections in 2014, but only on the basis of equality.
The roadmap clearly states that in the process, the new Fijian constitution must do away with racial categorization and discrimination. So that for the first time in Fiji's history, Mr. President, Fijians will go to elections in 2014 on the basis of common and equal suffrage. This will be real progress. It will undo decades of undemocratic laws and policies inherited from our colonial past and entrenched in past constitutions, which have impeded our nation's progress. This is a determined move to create a society based on substantive equality and justice and respect for the dignity of all Fijians. As we enter this formative 2-year period in Fiji's history, we recognize that inclusiveness will be an essential part of the process in the formulation of the new constitution. We also recognize our national responsibility at all times to ensure that the nation's overall peace, well-being, and sustainable economic development must prevail over divisive factional interests. The Fijian nation will prevail, Mr. President, and we have every confidence that our beloved country has the homegrown ability to pull itself up by its own bootstraps.
The electronic voter registration process will commence in January 2012, marking the beginning of the first steps towards elections. Commodore Bainimarama pleaded for the understanding of UN members as reforms take place in Fiji for the benefit of all Fijians. You can view the full version of the Prime Minister's speech that will be aired at 7 p.m. tomorrow night right here on MyTV.
Mr. President, we trust that our trading and development partners, friends, old and new, will give us our understanding, the space and the assistance we need to ensure that true and sustainable democracy can take root in Fiji. In this regard, we have taken great heart from recent assurances of support from many of our bilateral and multilateral friends, not least of which is the United Nations.
A 6-year-old girl and a 33-year-old man were killed in separate road accidents that happened today. The 6-year-old was hit by a taxi when she suddenly ran across the Queen's Road at Nabutulevu in Serua shortly after 1 this afternoon. The taxi was headed for Suva. Just 2 hours later, along Princess Road in Tamapua, a 33-year-old roadside vendor was mowed down by a private vehicle. The drivers of both vehicles are being questioned by police. Police have called on both drivers and pedestrians to exercise caution while using roads. The road death toll now stands at 34 compared to 39 for the same period last year. 13 buses in Lambasa were grounded today after they were found to be no longer safe for public transportation. The fleet of buses belongs to Mbulileka Transport Company. A snap audit carried out by Land Transport Authority officials in Lambasa found mechanical defaults that needed urgent repairs. LTA Regional Manager Northern, Isor Tawakivo, said the fleet was grounded for the safety of the travelling public. Tawakivo said they must undergo a maintenance program and will only be allowed back on the road once they pass inspection. 2 of the buses were involved in accidents recently. Tawakivo said other bus companies in Lambasa have temporarily taken over the routes serviced by Mbulileka Transport. After the break, nightclubs monitored for minors.